start by removing this corner piece here. Then I'm going to move down to the door handle, and you want to remove this cap with a pick or a screwdriver, whatever you have. Take that out. That'll expose a Phillips head screw that you have to remove. Next, this armrest actually has to pull straight up. That exposes your main anchor bolt for the door panel. Remove that. There's one more plastic clip here. You want to push in the center. That'll unlock it and then pull it straight out. And to reinstall it, I like to pull it out before. That'll make it easier to install. Next, I'm going to pry from the bottom of the door panel. That'll pop out all the plastic clips that are still holding this in. All right, now you want to slide this up. And if you look on the back side, there will be these two cables for the door handle. This top one is for the lock, and you want to pull it straight out. This ball will slide out, up and out of its socket. It popped out as I removed it. Do the same to this one. There's a wire here for the light. The tab to unlock it is on the top, so if you just press it with your thumb, pull that connector out, and then you have two more here, one for the mirror switch and one for the window switch. And there's a tab on the back side here. It's kind of hard to see, but you can feel it. Press that in, and then this outer sleeve, it's supposed to slide out, and that's what's going to unlock this whole connector. These can be a little bit stuck sometimes. There we go. Once that pops out, the whole connector comes out and your door panel is free. Next, I want to disconnect the door latch. The connector, the tab is kind of stuck in there, so next remove the vapor barrier, and be careful with this butyl tape because it's super sticky, and if you get it on your clothes, it's really hard, if not impossible, to take off. All right, you don't have to go far with it, just about right here is good. Next, let's disconnect these three bolts here. Those are T30. Oops. All right. Just to make things easier, you don't have to do this, but it will make things a lot easier, especially for installation. I'm going to remove the door lock mechanism, so pop off this cap. Sometimes it goes flying. In there you'll see a T30 bolt. Just unscrew that. This bolt does not come out. It stays in there, but what that does is it allows you to remove your door lock mechanism. Oh, there we go. What you just heard is actually the door latch falling off because it was hanging on this rod. Because my window's down, I'm going to roll it up to make things easier. So I'm going to plug in the window switch again with the ignition on. Make sure this outer sleeve is pulled out all the way. Go ahead and roll up your window. Oops. Make sure it goes all the way up. All right, now you can unplug the switch again and turn off your ignition. And one last thing before the latch comes out is unbolting this window track here. I'm going to hold both the latch and the track. There we go. Now the latch is free to come out. I'm going to remove these cables and swap them over to the new one. I'll do it one by one so that I don't get confused as to where they go. This one goes right here. Drop the little ball in its socket there, and then press this onto the lock. And for this one, there's actually a little door here that you have to flip open. You can use a little screwdriver or whatever you have available and just flip this open. Once that's open, you can pull the rod up, or the cable I should say, and it just hooks in to there. Now you want to do the same to this new one. Pop that open. And this hooked on like this, and then it drops down. and locks into here. On the back side of the door latch, this hole right here that pivots up and down is actually for the outer door handle to unlatch the door, and this rod is what needs to slide in there. Once you put the door latch in there, you won't be able to see it in person or on camera, so I just wanted to show that. I'm going to move this window track out of the way and twist the door latch into place, and by holding, I'm going to hold this rod and just feel that it drops down into its location. Yep, right there, went through its bracket. You can also test it by pulling on the handle, and I can feel that it's operating properly, so that's perfect. And just to hold this latch in place, I'm going to start one of the 3 bolts. Okay, now I can let go and do the rest. Next, I want to bolt up the window track back to where it was. Make that nice and snug. Start in the rest of your bolts for the door latch. Make them nice and snug. In there you can see that area where this rod has to engage with the door latch, so try to slide it in as straight and lined up as possible. And now you can snug this bolt up. Go ahead and put this cap back on. Now you can put these cables through the slot in the vapor barrier and then resecure your vapor barrier. The butyl tape should be still very sticky, but if for some reason yours is not, you can just use some regular tape and make sure this is secured. And now reconnect your door latch. Make sure that clicks. I'm going to start with this main window connection. Make sure this outer locking sleeve is pulled back all the way, otherwise it won't let you slide the wire in. Press that in, now lock it. Then you have the mirror adjuster switch, the light on the door. The wire is very short and thin, so be careful. There we go. And lastly, the 2 cables. If you don't remember where they go, it's easy to find out. If you pull on it and it springs back, that's the door handle. If you pull on the other one and it doesn't, it's a lock, unlock type thing. The top one is the lock. It actually goes in from the bottom. Slide it into its groove and secure it right there where it locks in. And then the door handle itself slides in from the top and then secures in. Now take the door panel, and you want to hook it up and over this lip of the door and press it down into place. You can look through the side here and make sure that these push tabs are lined up. And once they are, lock them into place. All right, I'm going to continue with my main anchor screw for the door. Reinstall your armrest. Next is this screw up here by the door handle. Make that snug, and then put your cover back on. Make sure this clicks, otherwise it'll fall off when you use the door handle. And there was also this push clip here. Like I said, make sure you pull it out to reinstall it, and then press it flush to lock it in. One last thing is this triangle looking cover here. Press that on, and you're all set.